Hello everybody, Leo Artica here. Welcome back to Buried. Now when we last left off, we managed to meet another human called Marcus who tried to blow our brains out, but then me and Dennis been all badass, beat the shit out of him, and we nicked his gun. Now apparently we're going down into the lower levels to find a first aid kit for Dennis, because Dennis is badly hurt still, and apparently there is something loose inside this place, or some things are loose, because this is a research facility for some reason, and we all know in every sort of horror situation, laboratories, research centers of any kind are a bad thing. They're always bad. So anyway, let's just get right into chapter 3, shall we? I really want to see what happens next, so here we go. Are you guys ready? Here we go. I don't know what to expect. Oh, this looks fancy. Reminds me of Resident Evil. We follow Marcus into what I can only describe as a control room of sorts. There are countless computer screens, of which are obviously coming back on from being shut off. Everything seems extremely complicated, from screens filled with code and data to what is obviously a security system. It reminds me of a miniaturized version of the operations center in just about every space travel movie I've ever seen. Marcus is running from one screen to another, apparently looking for some pertinent bit of information. Where's the first aid kit? I snap at him. Marcus stops in his tracks, as if he has forgotten the whole reason we're bringing us down here. Oh yeah, he says, rushing to the left side of the room. There he hunkers down by an open panel in the wall, what I assume is the emergency vault from where he got the rifle. Look at the computer monitors, or peer into the open vault. If I remember correct, I do remember quickly. If you guys remember, in the second chapter, he told us that there's loads of different spaces in every single room in this place that has a gun. So, is he going to get another gun and try and shoot us? I don't really trust this guy. I mean, he's been down here for a very long time, and alone in the dark, I should say, and that can do something to a man. So, I'm going to see if I can look into the vault. I peer over Marcus's shoulder into the vault where he's opened. It's much larger than it looks from the outside. It's particularly filled with file folders marked classified, a few rounds of ammo for the rifle, a peculiar plastic kit filled with syringes, and a locked black box. As Marcus digs around, one of the folders slips open. For a split second it opens, I see a scanned document and a color photo. The photo shows of a male corpse with its guts on the inside and outside of its body, as if it has been turned inside out. There's also massive swelling on his head, almost like the skull is about to explode. Marcus slaps the photo closed, and then I turn my attention back to the syringes. It's filled with a violet-colored fluid that, while rather pretty color, it looks deadly. Is it poison? Marcus finally pulls out the first aid kit and turns around. When I look back to motion to Dennis over, he's paler than ever. Come on, I tell him, but he's not moving from the place of the floor where he sits against the wall. I slide the first kit over to him and go scrambling to his side. Between the struggle for the rifle upstairs and arriving in his room, he's faded fast. Oh no, is he going to die? I struggle to lift his shirt up and then over his shoulder as the dry blood holds it in place. The mere act causes him to grimace. This might hurt a little, I tell Dennis. He only nods, he doesn't seem to care. Pull the shirt off gently, or rip the shirt off quickly. Well, if he's bleeding, I think the best thing you could... Trying to pull something off gently is usually not a good thing, unless it's like a really small wound, but this is a really big wound, so I'm guessing we've got to get to this room really quickly, so I guess ripping the shirt off will be more effective? Ooh. You decide to rip off Dennis's shirt quickly. Figuring that the old rip-off and band-aid metaphor applies here, I tear the shirt off of him quickly. Plus, I don't feel like exactly we have a lot of time. Dennis lets out a scream of pain and fury. What the hell, man? Oh shit, sorry, I say, casting the bloody shirt aside for the moment. Wincing in pain, he leans back against the wall and takes a series of deep breaths. His wound is more visible now, although it's particularly hidden by the blood that was starting to clot around it. My medical knowledge is slim, basically just a bunch of basics I learned in Boy Scouts. I look over to Marcus and hopefully ask, do you have any training? 0, he says. Sorry. Well, you're a big help, aren't you? It's just as well, I guess. He's far too concerned with what's happening on the monitors to be of much help anyway. I start by taking out the several rolls of gauze within the kit and wipe as much blood as I can away from the wound on his side. It's even worse than I figured from the start. The gash is deep and dark. I'm pretty sure it's infected too. He's going to need stitches, that's for sure. but I have no idea how to even start that. Besides, I don't have the tools for it in the kit. When I splash rubbing alcohol over the wound, he responds with a hoarse yelp of surprise, but nothing more. His eyes are locked on me, and he looks appreciative, but he's also scared. Be honest, Dennis, he says openly. Dennis says hopefully. How bad does it look? You think I'll live? Yeah, you'll be fine. You guys probably know that he's going to die. But in a situation like this, that's the worst thing you can say. It's not going to be good, man. It's not going to be. That would just make them deteriorate fast. So let's keep on the track of keeping our hopes up with Dennis. Maybe you don't know. Maybe we can save another line. You'll be fine, Dennis. No problem. You chose to comfort Dennis. Good to know, he says, because I sure don't feel like that. Just move my microphone a bit. You've been through hell, I say. It feels worse than it actually looks. Thanks, that's a relief. I won't lie. You're going to have a scar, I say, try to be funny. He chuckles a bit, but there's no humor in it. He rests his head against the wall and closes his eyes. I finish up. I place one layer of the gauze against the wound and bind it with medical tape. I then reinforce it with a second layer. I know it's meager, but it's all I can do. Thanks, Roger, he says. Actually manages to force out a smile. I feel a lot better, I think. I'll be fine. I'm not so sure about that, but I'm glad I was able to encourage him. Finally, I patch up the bruises on my head for a bit, cursing myself for not grabbing my hard head. Are you still thinking about that? Jesus. I look back to Marcus, and he is looking back at us, deep in thought. His eyes starting to really swell up from where he kicked my eyes. No, not his eye. My eyes starting to really kick up when he kicked me earlier. Maybe I shouldn't have let him off so easily. Are these first aid kits all you have in this facility? I ask him. If there's something better, I don't know about it, he says. I notice that his defensive posture is no longer there. Something is different now. Just a slight change in his demeanor. He's seen something on these monitors that has him frightened. More than he already was before. What is it, I ask? What's wrong? His eyes travel around the room, and it's obvious he's trying to decide whether or not to tell me. Yeah, I'm not beating about the bush with this guy anymore. I'm just gonna look at the monitors. Rather than wait for him, I get up and scan the screens behind him, see if I can find any clues I had missed moments ago. After a few moments, I see a few things that I can comprehend hidden in the complex information on most of the screens. On one screen, I can see what looks like a power meter is slowly climbing upwards. A single message is flashing beneath it. It reads, "Unexpected power failure. Foreign entity." Another message trickling along the bottom of the black screen says, "Safety locks on. Level 3 containment doors engage. Override?" I can still see scenes on a few other screens I assume are security cameras showing the hallways and the passages from elsewhere in the facility. One of them shows the first level hallway we were just on a few minutes ago. Another shows a hallway I don't recognize. The floor is covered in blood. And just off the screen, I see what I think might be a human body, but it's bent in an impossible way. Ugh. It looks like the body's legs and torso have somehow been merged or melted into the floor. Ugh! I want to know what happened. What happened to the guy? I have no idea. I didn't see, he says. Whatever happened to that guy must have happened in the last minute or so. Bloody hell, this thing is fast. What the hell, I ask? There's something still happening? Are we still in danger? He turns away, clearing fearing he has already said too much. And as bad as that is, there's a scene of another monitor makes my blood go cold, and my fear spikes to level somewhere near terror. The scene is very familiar. It's the logging site. The equipment is unmistakably mine. I can even see my truck. Something like fury starts to rise up in my guts, momentarily pushing aside the fear. For a moment, I consider just tearing into him. A few punches and a shove against the wall. Nothing more. I want answers, and I want them now. But I'm not sure what would provide more answers. Asking calmly or kicking his ass. Even I'm a little bit upset about this. This guy's been watching us. Well, watching my guy and watching everyone on the logging site. What's this all about? But again, if I be aggressive, I don't think he's going to tell me, so for now, I'm going to be calm. If he starts running rings around me, though, I'm getting aggressive. So anyway. Could you please explain to me why you've been spying on my crew? My anger is prodding at me, and I have to hold it back again. It's near the surface, demanding a release. It's part of my job, mine and a few others. Your crew has been watched over since you set up your equipment. Why? Because you're working with heavy equipment, some of which digs into the ground, less than a mile from a secret government facility. I had no idea of that, I say. How could I even know? Marcus gives me that same crooked, trembling smile and is beginning to creep me out. Because those things would draw attention to this place, he says. You have no idea how secretive this facility is. Besides, I know that the higher-ups looked into it. Your site isn't on government land. It's shy about 300 yards. Every piece of your equipment is on private property. The timber tract you purchased from Mr. Gladstone 2 months ago. And even if we wanted to intervene and keep your crew away, we couldn't have without kicking up a fuss. The fact is that someone with such a low-level clearance knows this much about my logging crew is unnerving. If you've been watching us, why didn't you recognize us when we met in the hallway, I asked. He shakes his head and exhales, like it's obvious. The cameras have a bird's-eye view. Can't see faces, we just track bodies and names. I don't like the way he's running rings around me, but... Okay, one more time I'm going to be calm. One more time, but I promise if he does this again, I want my guy to kick his fucking teeth in. Because I'm getting annoyed of this, because I'm not getting clear answers. So since you have all the surveillance, do you know where the rest of my crew is? I do my best to keep my voice level, even though my impulse is to shout. Well, Marcus says, all of you were on site as usual before the incident. It had been a few hours since I checked, though. I might have come near the facility, or maybe not. I don't know, he says. This casually, like it's not important. Well, are they inside the facility, I ask? You have cameras everywhere, right? Do you see them? Marcus shakes his head. I've been looking all over, and I haven't seen your crew. They aren't here. But, he adds, the lower levels don't have any cameras. Classified. I'm not sure how they would have gotten there, but it's a possibility. I'm still shocked that we were being watched. Do they know everything about us? I'm telling you, Marcus said. The depth of influence in this facility goes deep. There are 36 employees down here. Outside those employees, only 5 other people know this place exists. Alright, that's it. That's it. What the hell goes on here? Yeah, no more being nice. He doesn't even pause to consider if he should go any further. He actually laughs when he gives me the answer. I honestly don't know anything, probably very little, but I do know that it's more than Black Ops. What does that mean, I asked. There are scientists here and we've been disowned by their own governments because of the nature of their work. You get it now? I don't, not at all, but I don't want him to know that. You said there were 36 employees, I say. Where are they now? He shakes his head. As far as I know, everyone else is gone. Gone where? He points to the screen that still informs us of the unexpected power failure and the syringes. Not syringes, and cringes. Sorry, my bad. If this power failure is not corrected in time, there's no telling. But they're in the facility somewhere, right? I ask, hoping they will be able to help Dennis better than I can. I just don't know, Marcus says. They could be anywhere. Look, I say, furious in the way he's talking ridiculous, so do I. I don't... Ah, God, Dennis yet says. I look over to him and see he's pale as a ghost. Oh, God. He stood up, and his eyes are locked on the monitor closest to him. What, I ask? He simply points to the monitor and then looks away. I look to the monitor and see the logging site. But more specifically, I see the overturned dozer and the legs sticking out from under it, wearing work boots right where I left him. Tony. I forgot about him, actually. The fact of his death seemed abstract, almost like it happened in some other world or a very long time ago. I know you already told me he was gone, Dennis whispers, but it's different actually seeing him. My God. Suddenly, something blazes by the door outside. The shape is fast and in shadow, but I'm pretty sure it's a person. Someone else is here, Marcus says, wheeling round. He sounds very happy to discover this, so I try to follow his lead. If something bad happened at his facility, then surely the sight of another survivor is a good thing, right? We should check it out, he says. I realize this isn't the best time to leave Dennis after revisiting Tony's death all so soon. Someone just ran by the door, I tell him. Hopefully, it's someone who can help us. You going to be okay, or we'll be right back? Okay. I think we all know that he's not okay, so we're going to be as quick as we can, Dennis. We're going to be as quick as we can. We'll be as quick as we can, my friend. It's fine. Go see who it is, he says, giving me a mock thumb up. I turn to Marcus and motion us to head out to investigate. Excuse me. Let's be careful, Marcus says. Depending on who it is, they might not be as hesitant to shoot a stranger as I was. I nod at him, and I head for the door. I'm still holding a rifle in my hand. I don't know if I have the guts to actually use it if needed. With a final look to Dennis, I run into the second level hallway. Ooh, somebody else is here. Or something. I hope it's someone and not something. Jeez, itchy. I need to shave this carpet off after this. Okay, we're back out in the subway place. Oh, oh, that music again. Marcus follows. There is still fear in his eyes, but also the slightest glimmer of hope. That hope is contagious. We take off after the figure and just run past the command center. Ahead of us, the facility presents yet another long hallway. Right away, I notice that this level of the facility seems darker, even though the lights are now all on. The hallway is adorned with numbered yellow doorways and the large white panels along the walls. It's clean and well maintained, but there's something ominous about it. Up ahead, I see the floating motion of something dark cutting quickly to the left, down the corridor. There, I say quietly, pointing up ahead. Marcus gives a nod, and we continue chasing after the person we saw blaze by the command center just moments ago. It then occurs to me that this person could be like Marcus was at first, armed and scared. Well, if they are armed, I've got a gun, so if they try to shoot us, I got something to defend myself with? Hey, stop! Who's there? I get no response, and I'm unsure if I should be relieved or upset about this. The last person we met nearly killed me with a rifle. Why would this person be any different? I quickly dart around the corner and take the same shooting stance I've seen countless times on TV. There's a woman standing there, about 10 feet away. She has reddish blonde hair and a small, mousy build. She looks terrified and is visibly shaking. She's probably in her late 30s, wearing a lab coat with dark jeans and green Converse low tops. I have a strange sense that her fear is just about our sudden appearance. She looks like a woman who's been running scared for a while now. Her hands are raised in surrender. She's not holding a weapon. Marcus slowly approaches, taking a few steps ahead of me. It's Amy, right? He asks. She blinks, strangely surprised that he knows her name. Yes, she says. And you are Mark. Marcus. The name, she nods absently, and then looks at my rifle. We want we want answers. I don't think that's the best way. She's got no weapon. There's no need to be aggressive. So, yeah, I'm not going to use it. Now, how do I know that? She asks. You're trespassing on government property in the midst of a huge catastrophic event. And you have a rifle. How am I supposed to believe you? I have a friend back in a command center who needs medical attention, I say. And we're looking for the rest of our crew. I'm really sorry, but I don't know where they are, she says. Do you know what happened? Marcus said. From the power outage. I don't know what caused it, she says, but there was an experiment taking place when an outage occurs. Something happened, and she trails off here, giving me a look of distrust. I saw things on the security camera, Marcus says. The experiment failed, didn't it? I don't know the specifics, Amy says. I barely escaped the 3rd floor. I was going to the command center to see if the security footage showed anything, but then I saw you and the gun. Listening to their conversation, I'm feeling totally in the dark. Yes, so do I, mate. What experience, or what has you so scared? Well, technically they're almost the same type of question, so I want to know what these experiments are. I'm not beating about the bush this time. Amy looks at me, her eyes wide and terrified. Who are you anyway, she asks. I quickly give her my story. A logger stranded in the woods following a peculiar explosion at the logging site. As I tell her, recognition blooms in her eyes. You're one of the loggers? Yes. She then looks to Marcus and says, I thought they were being watched. They were, Marcus said. This was a freak accident and there's no proof that they were responsible. I feel myself wanting to submit all the questions that are piling in my head, but Dennis is waiting for me. Yeah. As much as I want to know as well, we gotta help Dennis. Dennis is not looking good. I decided, despite my curiosity, I need to get Dennis's help as soon as humanely possible. Look, is there any medical help to be had here or not? I asked. Probably, Amy asked, but you have to find Colonel Barksdale. He knows all the sorts of supplies are. And where is he? Where is everyone else? I ask. At this, Amy starts to weep. She falls to her knees as if someone struck her from behind. Gone, she says. Some were killed, and some were just... I don't know. They disappeared right in front of me. Disappeared? Pretty much what I was thinking. Yes, she answers. They were here 1 second and gone the next. Just... She snaps her fingers together to effect. Gone. Oh, gone. Something's here with us, Amy says. We were conducting an experiment and it all went horribly wrong. Something came through. Came through what? Marcus asks. I don't know how that much. An entity. But whatever it is, it's still here somewhere, Amy responds. How could you not know? Don't you have a full security access, I ask? No, I have access to almost everything, but there are 2 levels of security beyond my clearance. So what do you suggest we do now, I ask? I'm not sure, she says, wiping her tears away. But if you want to find your crew, we need to find Barksdale. He's in charge. Where is he, I ask? Down the 3rd level. In the hangar. Alright, then let's go. Yeah, I'm a fucking badass, I say. It's not that easy, Amy says, looking at the rifle in my hands. Why not? Like I said, something came through. When the power went out, there were several of them, all roaming the 3rd level. Okay, now she's starting to sound like Marcus. What came through? All I know is the others refer to them as entities. Amy shudders as she recalls the horror she has seen. I don't even know how to describe them. I didn't get a good look, she says. All I did was run for my life. Behind me, I just heard screams. I know it's not very scientific of me, but I didn't feel like sticking around to learn more. She's right, Marcus says, stopping my train of thought. The things I saw on the monitor, it was crazy. This is insane, I bark. I'm going to the 3rd level to find this Barksdale guy. Thanks for your help. Wait, Marcus says, I'm sticking with you. If we want to get out of here, we have to find Barksdale, right? Yes, Amy says, but Barksdale's on the 3rd floor, and it's too dangerous to go back there. I figure I'll let them make their own decisions. In the meantime, I start heading back to the command centers to go get Dennis. Before I get there, I hear footfalls behind me, getting closer. Oh, okay. I give Amy a questioning look. She quickly looks away, clearly torn. Neither one of you know your way around here, she says. Looking for Barksdale on your own would be suicide. Like it or not, she has a point. Fine, I say. Then let's get Dennis from the command center and head down together. Well, we got another companion. Excuse me, I just ate before I did this. I really need to stop doing this before I do recordings. As I was saying, yeah, we got another companion. Whether she's a good companion, I don't know. So we've got 2 loggers, a security guard, I think, and a scientist. And we're back in the Resident Evil Control Center. We enter the command center, and I'm happy to see Dennis has regained some of his color. Oh, he's getting better. We're going to get you some help, I tell him. And then we're going to find our crew and get the hell out of here. More help would be great, he says. With the way you ripped off my shirt earlier, I'm not letting you touch me again. Sorry. Wait, Amy says. Maybe one of us should stay here with him. I'll be okay, Dennis says. He stands to his feet with a grunt. You don't know what's out there, Amy says. I saw them. I saw what they can do. This facility is not safe. What can they... Both viable questions, but I think what we should know is is anyone nearby? Anyone nearby? I'm not sure, she says, but they're down the 3rd floor, so we need to be careful. Marcus looks a little hesitant, but he nods his agreement, and the 4 of us exit the command center. Heading back into the hallway, I look back to the monitors, take a final look at the screen that shows my wrecked login site, and feel a pang of sorrow. Then I look to the other monitors, showing live feeds of the facility's security cameras. I try to tell myself that I'm not looking for any sign of Amy's creatures, but I can't. That's exactly what I'm doing. And there's no need to pretend otherwise. We head back through the hall and towards the elevator. The tension between us is like a physical presence. Everyone's on edge. I'm on edge. I feel like I'm in... You know, I think I might have said this before in the last episode, but you know it's a good story when you feel like you're with the characters in the story. We step inside the elevator, and those pristine doors close. Inside the elevator, Amy seems to become more guarded and distant from us. I want to assure her I mean her no harm, but I'm also not going to put the rifle down. So you have pretty high clearance in this place, right? I ask her. That's right. So what kind of experiment are we talking about that went wrong? When she starts to answer my question, I could tell that it's something of a relief for her to get it off her chest. There's been a lot of work on a project taking place over here in the last 3 years or so. The purpose is to find out if there's any real viable science behind point-to-point initiation. Like teleporting? I asked. Oh my god, Marcus said. I had no idea. I knew there's some weird stuff here, but nothing this insane. It's not really all that insane, Amy says. We found our first major breakthrough about 9 months ago. We've been able to transport a live rat from its cage on level 3 to a small lab in New Mexico. The trip took the rat 5 seconds. You kidding me? Dennis says. I can tell you wants to sound as if he was mocking the idea, but he fails. He's scared. Not at all, Amy says. The problem is that when the rat arrived, its retinas were detached, and its intestines were on the outside of its body. So is this a teleporting experiment gone wrong? Did you ever perfect it? What does this have to do with us now? That's true, yeah. Well, about 6 months ago, we successfully made that same experiment. The rat arrived in great health, and this time in just 3 seconds. Still, one of the things that we need to tweak in order to make the process completely safe was how to figure out how to keep the subject on a straight course. This is a bit like Star Trek, or I think it's Star Trek or Star Wars, I can't remember, when they warp onto a planet. Because you're basically getting turned into little bits by the sounds of this. Anyway, where was I? 3 seconds. Still, yeah, in a straight course. When the matter is being transported, not only is its atoms being unknitted and then put back together on arrival. Yeah, I thought so. Unknit? Yes, deconstructed and translocated through space. It's the only way we know how to do it right now. But the issue, as I said, comes in keeping the deconstructed subject on a straight course to its destination. When the process occurs, we are deforming space-time. We are creating a shortcut through space, and that has risks. Why exactly, Dennis asks. Because there are many more dimensions in space than the 3 we exist on. She explains, there are some evidence there are many of them, as 10. So when you send the rat to New Mexico, is traveling through another dimension to get there? I ask. Basically, and because of that, we're trying to get a better understanding of what those other dimensions are capable of. Things that a great deal of population would be scared of. They knew what we were doing, hence all the privacy. Then today the power went out, and right in the middle of an experiment, something happened. What? I don't know. She's speaking with the authority of someone who knows what she's talking about. Is that why those creatures are here? What have you seen in these dimensions? I want to know what the creatures are. I want to know what I'm dealing with here. That's my assumption, she says. I wasn't present for the experiment. I'm not cleared for such things, but I do get reports. Jeez, I'm so itchy. What reports? Marcus asks. I'm given access to the results of the test. In other words, Marcus replies, clearly upset, you guys have been peeking into other dimensions and taking notes on what you see. I can't believe I've wasted my life for this, he murmurs to himself. He looks like he's starting to freak out. Amy is quiet. Her expression indicates that she's waiting to see how I react to all this. You people are insane. It probably is insane, but at the same time, this is a real breakthrough in instant translocation. So I guess, both of these things are plausible, but I guess I should at least congratulate her, I guess. It is incredible, huh? You were impressed by Amy's work. So this is like an interdimensional stuff, I ask. In a way, she answers. Marcus, on the other hand, is incredulous. I don't want anything to do with this, he says. All this time I've been working for... He laughs cruelly at the sound of it makes my blood go cold for a moment. Just a single level beneath my feet. You assholes have been tearing apart space and time, Marcus continues. When the elevator door opens, I can't get out fast enough. The tension is growing way too quick for my liking. Outside of the elevator, we step into what appears to be a massive industrial area. The carnage waiting for us is unlike anything I've ever seen in the upper levels. Okay, is this going to be horrible? Jeez, why is my ear so itchy? Okay, that's a lot of blood. Oh, and I don't like that music. The area looks industrial, like everything was built for utility only. But more noticeably was all the blood. Oh my God, I've never seen so much blood. Those creatures must have had a field day. Holy shit, Marcus says, looking like a man who just woke from a very bad dream. There are more personnel in this area when the experiment went haywire, Amy says, as if the explanation makes it all better. The research you all do down here had better be worth it, I say. We have to get moving or we're going to lose our nerve. Amy, let's focus. Barksdale is in the hangar, I ask. If he's still alive, yes, that's where he'll be. Then let's hurry, I say. As far as I can tell, Dennis is doing much better. I'm beginning to grow tired of trying to keep my fear at bay. Between the blood on the floor and the science on level 3, and Amy's talk of the lab, I'm starting to get freaked out. I'll go first. I don't even know. I doubt my guy doesn't even know his way around here, so since Amy was the one who works here, I'm going to let her take the lead. Lead us on, girl. We'll follow. The 4 of us start walking ahead, Amy taking the lead. We stopped walking when we came to the remains of what looks like 3 different people. It's hard to tell how many bodies are there because they've been torn to shreds and are distorted. 2 of the bodies look like they've been fused together. Another man looks like he's had his leg welded through the floor. I can see this man's face. He died in an abject state of horror, his mouth pried open in an eternal scream. I want to know what happened, but something tells me that whatever did that to these things, we gotta keep moving on our own. We gotta keep moving. It's simply too much. Worse than the fact that we just started our journey on through level 3. If there is worse waiting up ahead, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Dennis steps up behind me and then he speaks, his voice soft and flat. What the hell could do that to someone, he asks. The things I saw, Amy says, they could be pretty easily, I think. They could do it pretty easily, I think. She looks pale. I think she might pass out any moment. Tears spill from her eyes. She's visibly shaking. But she soldiers on, looking back to me and stepping to the side of the gruesome carnage. Her eyes again go to my rifle and doesn't look very hopeful. You good to go, she asks me? We need to move on, but for some reason I can't take my eyes off the scene. My mind is reeling, trying to process it. Oh, no, I don't want to look around anymore. Let's just keep going. Like I said before, if we stick around, whatever did this to these people is going to come and get us. We leave the grisly sight behind, moving into another equally destroyed area. From what I can tell, the next room was once an area for experimentation. This place hasn't been destroyed, and it's been partially altered in a way that makes no sense. The grinders look like they've been warped. Not grinders, girders. Though their very materials distorted and twisted. To my right, a machine has been catapulted and looks like to have somehow merged with the wall rather than crashed into it. Beyond these phenomena, there's a standard violence I was expecting to see. There is a limp arm sticking out from underneath the wreckage, and more blood. I see no signs of an explosion, which makes me wonder how this happened. Seeing the aftermath is sickening enough, but it makes me wonder if Amy saw it while it was happening. Did you see what happened to those girders? Did you see other people die? How do people die? I only caught a glimpse of it, she says, taking a deep breath. I was closest to the exit, so I started running. It was like trying to focus your eye on something that was too close. People's bodies just started twisting and turning. And then the thing that did this, it looked like she doesn't finish. She's caught by a sound echoing through the facility. It comes from behind us and slightly to the right. Oh, I'm not sure what it is, but it makes my blood feel like ice. It almost feels like a static of an AM radio. There's a high-pitched noise beneath it, and I can't even start to fathom. What the hell is that, I ask, instantly clapping my hands to my ears. One of them, Amy says, her voice a whisper, one of the creatures. That's what they sound like, Dennis asks. I see that he's leaning against the wall again, wincing at the noise. I suddenly realize I have a death grip on the rifle, ready to shoot at the next thing I see. How far away do you think they are? About 100 meters, she answers. Not, oh god, that's too close. Not far. Everyone seems to take this as a cue to start moving again. We make our way around the office wreckage, now with new purpose in our step. We barely make it to the other side of the room, approaching a dark hallway, when another high-pitched noise sounds out. This one is louder, closer. We all share a terrified look, and I can tell that Amy is on the verge of losing it. I grip the rifle tightly as we head towards the hallway in front of us. I want to know if we can fight these things. I don't know, Amy says. Dennis speaks up, his voice is like ice. Then let's haul ass, huh? No one says anything after that, but I can feel the presence of terror behind us, around us, pressing in on us like some new violent gravity. I'm sorry if I'm tripping up over the words, guys. I think I'm reading a little bit too fast. But my god, this is getting terrifying. There's something down here with us. There's 2 things down here with us. And apparently, Amy, there's 3 of them, and there's more blood. The small utility hall is well lit. It looks like it was designed to only be used by select maintenance workers. What goes on in this area, I ask. I'm looking at Marksmith as I ask the question, but he only shrugs in response. She might know, he replies, pointing to Amy. I've never been down here before. It's just a utility hallway, Amy says. But at the end, there's a maintenance room. There should be a gun or 2 in here. It's also the most direct path to the hangar entrance. As we walk quickly and quietly down the hall, I take a glimpse ahead and feel the air on the back of my neck stand up on end. The lights become more sparsely spaced out, and it's impossible to see just how far the hall extends into the darkness. This hallway has occasionally a trace of bloodshed, but nothing like the main area we came from. We continue farther down, and just as I begin to see what looks like a large metal door further ahead, I hear another shrill sound. This sounds further away, but no less demonic. How many of these things did you see? Dennis asked Amy. 3. But that's just what I saw. There could be more. What do they look like? Dennis asks. Yeah, as I said, I want to know what I'm dealing with. I don't know how to explain them, she says. Monsters, that's the only word I can think of. My mind seems to struggle by just saying to understand what I'm seeing. They're big, and they seem to jerk around every few feet or so. They look like they're made of light. That's about all I know for sure. You know, my ex-husband always said that my work would kill me, she continues, seemingly unable to stop herself. I mean, I doubt he imagined this exact scenario, but still. As we make our way to the hangar doors, another high-pitched noise rings out, angrier than before. Amy starts walking, causing us all to stop and turn to her. We have to do something to slow those things down, she says. No, Marcus snaps. There's no time. We need to distance ourselves and get to the hangar first. Amy ignores him, deep in thought. There's an old hydraulic door set in the wall right here, she says. It hasn't been used for years, though. She looks to me, pleading her cause. Together we have to pull it closed behind us and keep those things back. Those old hydraulic doors weigh a ton, Marcus says. There's no way it'll work. Roger, Amy says. What do you think? They'll have a hard time getting to us if these doors are locked. Look, Marcus shouts, turning to me. We need to get to the hangar now. As much as I want to run, what Amy says is making sense. I mean, what if we get to the door and it's locked? Yeah, let's try and shut the doors. I don't want these things anywhere near me. You decide to try and close the doors. Damn it, Marcus says. We don't have time for this. Amy ignores him and starts feeling around the hallway for a groove. Dennis and I start looking as well. A minute passes and I see a small metal frame that runs from the floor to the ceiling. Is that it? I ask. Yes, Amy says. I look to the floor and see an old metal track that runs along the frame. Let's move it, I say. Amy and Dennis and I start pulling as hard as we can, but it barely budges an inch. Behind us, that static noise rings out again. My heart seems to stutter, and Marcus lets out a little whine. We're running out of time. We need to go, Marcus screams. Those things are getting closer every second. Will you... he's not helping? Fuck you, Marcus. Get up and help us. Get off your ass and help us. It won't make a difference, he says. Shut up and help us, and then we'll find out, I shout. Reluctantly, Marcus walks over and grabs the door. We all groan as we strain to pull. It starts inching slowly and then begins to move steadily. Once we get it started, it slides easily. As we near the wall, closing off the hallway behind us, I think I can see the merest glimpse of the odd illuminated shape from the darkness. It cuts off by the slightest thump of the hydraulic door and being pushed against the frame in the opposite wall. Amy turns a lock into place. Great. Now let's haul ass, says Marcus. We all turn and get moving again, still feeling unsure about our prospects. In fact, the fact that another shrill noise sounds out elsewhere in the facility is not calming. And then there are 2 of them. It's almost like they're calling out to one another. The doors to the hangar sit up ahead like the entrance to some anonymous labyrinth. I don't know if that's going to help us, but like I said before, guys, if there's any way to stop these guys getting close to us, that's a plus to me. Because Amy does not know if he can even hurt these things. Oh, there's more blood. Is that the hangar door? Yep, it's closed. When we reach the hangar door, I get a true sense of how impenetrable they are. The computer terminals mounted on the wall nearby has a blinking red light. Any idea what this means, I ask. It's an automatic lock, a failsafe from the lockdown, says Amy. I'd never been down here before, Marcus says. If I had known this door was here, I would have opened it earlier. How? Amy says. The fear in her voice is more present than ever. From the command center, she says. We need to override from there first, and we use this terminal to open the hangar doors. The command center on the 2nd floor, eh? Oh no, we gotta go back up there? Yeah. Amy shakes her head and lets out a nervous laugh. Are you kidding me? She asks. We just pulled the hydraulic door and blocked off the hallway, remember? Was this a bad idea? If we want to get into the hangar, we have to get back to the command center, Marcus said. Isn't there another way? Turning to Marcus, Amy replies. Well, there is another elevator, but we need to go through biochem storage. I need to stay with Dennis so he can rest. I say, you two go. You know your way around this place, and you know the controls, Marcus says. Fine, Marcus says, but we need to be armed. I don't want to give any of them the gun. I don't want to really give any of them the gun. I don't want to give Amy the gun because I have no idea if she has any training for this. Does she even know how to use a gun? Marcus does have the training, but we all know he's a little bit unhinged right now. Oh God, what should I do? I don't want to do this. Okay. I'm only doing this because Marcus has the training. It's probably going to bite me in the ass later, but he knows how to use a gun, and I'm not sure that Amy knows how. You gave Marcus the gun. I hand Marcus the rifle, and he turns to go. Amy gives me a concerned look, but follows along behind him. Once Amy and Marcus is making a good distance down the hallway, Dennis lets out a nervous laugh. And then there were two, he says. Dennis looks much better, but he still needs to use a wall to stay standing. Didn't Amy say there were guns and emergency kits in the maintenance room near the hangar doors, I asked? Yeah, I think so, Dennis says, looking exhausted. I look ahead and see a door to the right that reads maintenance. Might as well give it a try. I go to the door, try to open it, find that it's locked. Kick it down or use your shoulders. If I remember correctly, Roger has a bad knee, so I think kicking it down is not going to be a good idea. I'm going to try and knock it over. I give it a hard shove, but it doesn't budge. I'm about to try again, but that's when I hear the dry choking sound from just down the hallway. It's barely audible, but it's not my imagination. I first thought it was one of those things, one of the monsters. After calming me and reassessing it, it sounds more like a person. I think about how angry and on edge Amy was when she turned to leave, as well as how Marcus scared had looked. Alarm bells sound in my head, and before I know it, I'm heading down the hall, away from the hangar doors. Stay there, I'll be right back, I whisper over to my shoulder to Dennis. See if you can figure out how to get into that maintenance room. Where are you going, he asks. I don't bother answering him as I bound for the door where Amy and Marcus went. Oh God. Has something bad happened? Oh God, more blood. What can they possibly store in this place? This reminds me so much of the Resident Evil film. As I enter the biochem room and start walking between the massive silos, I wonder what classified chemicals could be inside here. I fully expected one of Amy's creatures to come flying out of the intersection of the halls up ahead. I hear something like a skittering noise, like something moving quickly. I run ahead as fast as I almost trip over two people in a life or death struggle. My mind tries to process what I'm seeing, but it makes no sense, not at all. Marcus is on the floor, with Amy pinned beneath him. He has his rifle up at her throat, pushing down on the floor and choking her with it. Her face is turning purple and her eyes look like they might pop out of her head. Marcus sees me coming out of the hallway, but asks if what he's doing is perfectly normal. Stop him! Fucking stop him! I start rushing towards him before I really know what I'm doing. I bring my fist down in a hard arc across the bridge of his nose, and I'm rewarded with a sick cracking noise. Oh yeah, punch his fucking nose out! He cries out, and he falls to the ground, looking at me as if he doesn't understand why I punched him. On the floor, Amy clutches at her neck and gasps for breath. I start to feel I was a moment too late, just as I see the rifle has been thrown across the floor. Marcus seems to notice at the same exact moment that I do. Yep, fucking wail on him! Wail on this bastard! I deliver a surprisingly strong blow with my right hand, clipping his chin from an awkward position. I'm in the process of planting a knee in his chest to hold him down, and then his left foot comes out of nowhere, landing hard. The kick catches me squarely in the ribs, knocking the breath out of me. What the hell are you doing? He yells at me. By killing her, I'm saving us. All of this was her fault. I sense that he truly believes this. But if that's the case, then why not just shoot her rather than strangle her with a rifle? The answer is simple. We would have heard the gunshot, and I, or those things, would have come running. He wanted to kill her quietly. And then what? Would he have done the same to Dennis and me? It seems fitting, really. When we first came upon Marcus, he had a gun on us. I'd been so relieved to see another human being that I underestimated just how unhinged he was. Marcus and I both dive for the rifle, still lying on the floor, and start wrestling for possession. I'm not confident I'll come away with it. As we struggle, he starts inching the muzzle of the gun towards my face. A position I don't want to be in. I start pushing away back hard. But if this thing accidentally fires, I'm not sure where I prefer the bullet to go, especially in a room full of chemicals. Forced towards the tanks. Look towards him. Make him shoot. Yeah, make him shoot himself. I grunt as I push the muzzle towards his face. Realize he's literally looking down the barrel of a gun. Marcus ducks his head out of the way. This makes him lose leverage, allowing me to yank the gun from his grip. I get to my feet as quickly as I can, swinging the rifle back round to him. For a moment I think I've knocked him out, but his eyes flutter and he looks at me as if I betrayed him. Her people, he says. It was her that did this. She deserves to die. She did this. I look to Amy and wish I could help her. I'm relieved to see she's managed to draw in a few breaths. Okay, she's not dead. Her legs move as she tries to push herself to the sitting position. You wouldn't know, Marcus says. You didn't work here under their secrecy. You don't know what it was like to... He surprises me by lunging towards me, leaping from the ground like a human projectile. I don't have time to aim carefully. I have to react fast. No, I'm not... If I try to shoot him and I miss, I'll probably hit the tank. So, please, even over your bum leg, please try to dodge, mate. Please dodge it. His aim is poor and his strength okay. His strength is failing, so I dodge him easily. Okay. I don't want to have a gunshot go off and alert those creatures that we're here. Make a hard jab of the butt of the rifle, strike him in the chest. Something crunches and he lets out a whoosh of air. He crumples for a moment and goes to his knees. He roars in pain on the floor. Only after a few moments, I realize that it's not purely screams of pain. The boss is calling for them, calling for those creatures to come for us. This place is evil, along with everyone involved, he wails on the floor. If you are taking her side, you deserve to die too. You want to stop me? You better do it now, you coward. The rage in his eyes at Amy, as well as towards me, for stopping him makes him think that he'll deliver on his threat. I raise the rifle again, every urge in my body wanting to make sure he doesn't come back to bite us. But I'm not a violent man. I could not kill him and just leave him behind. Kill Mark? As much as I want to fucking end this guy, the fact that it will defeat the whole point of what I've been doing. We don't want these things to come after us. Well, they're probably coming now, but the fact that he's making this noise, they'll probably go after him and just kill him and leave us alone. So, yeah. I'm not going to kill you, but hopefully those things will. Just like when I could barely shoot earlier as he was coming at me, I can't bring myself to deliver a kill shot. I ignore him and lean to Amy. You okay, I ask? She nods slowly. Have to go, she says, her voice raspy. They'll be here any minute. Too much noise. I have to hold her in my arms so we get to her feet. We start forward, and I think of Dennis. We should go back to the hangar doors, I say. I can't just leave Dennis there. There's no time, Amy says. You need to come with me up to the command center. Now! We'll come back for him soon. You're all dead anyway, Marcus shrieks. If they don't get you, I will. He laughs manically after saying this, hooting like a madman. As if in response to a high-pitched noise tears through the hallway. I seem to feel it in my bones. They're following his noise now, Amy says, her voice still weak. We take off away from Marcus, presumably towards another elevator she had mentioned towards moments ago. I follow her. As we move out, I hear Marcus slowly push himself off the ground and stumble off, slipping in between the tanks and disappearing. We start running, and after the first few strides, another noise sounds out. It sounds mechanical, but at the same time also reminds me of the recordings I heard of whale songs. A sound of metallic creaking and crashing echoes through the door I came through. They've reached the hydraulic door we pulled, she says, confirming what I'm thinking. The sound grows louder, and it's clear they're struggling with it. Which is a good thing. We have a bit more time. Okay, it was a good thing to shut the door. I speed up my step and follow Amy as she leads her way to the other elevator. She's panting furiously, but pushes on. I can hear something rattling in her breath, likely the result of Marcus's attack. This makes me imagine how his cold, uncaring eyes must have looked, staring down at her as he tried to deliver her to death. How can she still be forging on? It's beyond me. I'm sorry about Marcus, I say. It's not your fault, she interrupts. When you handed him the gun, you didn't know he would use it on me. I just hope you find a way to survive this mess. Don't say anything. We'll be fine. Despite our life in this situation, let's try to keep our hopes up, guys. God, my heart is pounding. I'm not even in... I feel like I'm really in the story. I feel like I'm following these guys. I am not so sure, she says, her eyes fixated straight ahead. I'm not sure I can blame her. I just want to say something encouraging, I guess. We finally come to the elevator at the end of a row of silos. The elevator doors slide open slowly. At this moment, we hear something behind us, a strangled sort of whistling sound. We step inside and turn around to face the biochem room. Thankfully, we've been given a few moments to spare. The elevator door remains open for 3 seconds before they start to slide closed again. In those 3 seconds, I see a large shape floating towards us. Ugh. I can't pronounce that. Prioscent, like light white glow outlines an impossible shape. Behind it, I see another shape that also enters the biochem room, and another. The third one breaks away from the other two, taking a quick right, and moves like with eerie speed. It is in the direction Marcus had gone. Honestly, the thought of them hunting him down doesn't bother me in the slightest. Me either. I didn't like that guy from the start. Amy is pressing the buttons to close the elevator doors over and over, but they stay open for what seems like an eternity. I curse whoever designed these damn doors. Stand in the doorway to shoot, or hide. I have no idea if these... Amy says these things cannot... So they might not be able to be killed, so I have no idea, so let's hide. Let's hide for a bit. Let's fucking hide. Amy and I slide ourselves up against the sides of the elevator, trying to avoid being seen. But I can't help peeking around the corner. I hold the rifle steady, ready to fire, and that's when I see them in a clear light for the first time. I can see their features, their shape, and their colors, but my mind can't quite process it all. Nothing about them makes sense. My eyes try to see a squid, but that's not what these things are. They are grey and white, and they seem to be nothing more than squirming light. Their appendages are neither legs nor tentacles, but somewhere in between. They don't walk on these appendages, but they use them to glide. They move like ghosts, and they seem to jerk every few feet or so. But I'm pretty sure that this jerking affair is not a result of their moving, but my mind's inability to understand how they are moving exactly. There's also more than their appearance that makes a mockery of reality. The light around them seems to bend inward, as if the space within the room has to reshape itself for their existence. That particular effect on the air makes their movement seem like something moving underwater, only faster. They screech in unison as they rush towards the elevator. They'll be inside here in a few seconds. I check the rifle and see that my ammo is diminishing. I have to start saving my shots. I'm going to have to be choosy. You know what? I want to see if the gun actually affects them, because if I can kill them, or at least hurt them, then I know that we can actually fight them. So, fingers crossed, guys. Decide to shoot the creatures. Now about a foot remains between the sliding doors. I find my muscles reacting instinctively again. I pull the trigger. The shot fills the elevator, and there is thunder in my ears. I hit the thing in the center, and the reaction is not quite unexpected. The monster pauses and spasms for about 2 seconds. Its body of light flickers for a moment, similar to a light bulb on the brink of burning out. My finger keeps pulling the trigger. The throb of the rifle in my hands is comforting, and each screech from the creature is like music. But then I realize this only seems to slow it down. Its tentacles seem to tighten and then loosen, like a weird muscle reflex. But then it's on the move again, unharmed by the shots. Finally, the elevator door closes. The creatures wash against the other side of the door, making an electrical noise and crying out in anger. The tips of their spine-like appendages poke through the wall and the elevator door, but for some reason they can't get all the way through. Amy screams at this and curls into a ball in the far corner of the elevator, crying. I say nothing to her. I just cling to the rifle, hoping those creatures don't find Dennis as he waits by the hangar door where I left him. For his sake and ours, we need to get them open now. Oh my god. That is fucking intense. I know this is not a game, and we're just reading text. But this is intense. This is a fucking good story. Oh my god. End of chapter 3. What are my results? What are my results? At least I know I can somehow affect the creatures. It doesn't seem to hurt them or kill them, but it does seem, to slow them down. The blunt truth. You and 59% of players told Dennis he'll probably be fine. Slow them down. You and 35% of the players sided with Amy on pulling the hydraulic door. Who to trust? You and 31% of the players gave the gun to Marcus. Murder or mercy? You and 58% of players left Marcus alive. Now or later, you and 32% of the players used your ammo and took extra shots at the creatures. It looks like I was not with the rest of the group on this one. Whew. Oh my god. This is fucking amazing. I really have... I can't form words right now because I'm really into this right now. So I'm going to move on to chapter 4. But you know what? I'm going to do that in another video. So I'm going to end this video here and move on to the next chapter straight away. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry, I don't know why I'm out of breath. I'm really into this. That's probably why. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Click the links below if you want to see the beginning of the story, or if you want to see any other interactive stories that I've done before. And so to the next terrifying episode, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.